You know, for any online business, there's this hidden threat, one that doesn't look like a threat at all. In fact, it masquerades as your most loyal customers, using their real accounts to do some serious damage. So today, we're going to break down exactly how you can stop it.
All right, let's dive right in by defining what we're actually up against here. It's called account takeover fraud, or ATO for short. And at its core, it's pretty simple. It's when a bad actor hijacks a legitimate user's account. They get in, maybe change some details, make a few purchases, and essentially become a ghost in your machine. Now, what's really wild, and frankly a little scary about this, is just how easily it gets missed. See, unlike some obvious, clumsy fraud attempt, an ATO attack often looks exactly like a real customer logging in. And that makes it incredibly difficult for your standard security measures to even notice.
So you might be asking, how are they getting in? Well, it's often through those sneaky phishing scams or by using credentials stolen from other massive data breaches. But the one you really need to watch out for, is something called credential stuffing. This is where bots just automatically test thousands, even millions of stolen username and password combos on your site, just hoping for a match.
Okay, so how do you fight back against something that's automated and looks legitimate? Well, you need a smart, real-time solution. One of the most effective ways is by using specialized APIs, like the ones from FraudLabs Pro. We're talking about a toolset that's designed to spot and shut down this kind of fraud the very second it happens.
And here's the crucial part. This isn't just one system working all by itself. No, it's powered by a huge global network of merchants. Think of it like a digital neighborhood watch. When one business spots a fraudster, the entire network learns from it, instantly making everyone's defenses that much smarter and faster. So how does this protection actually function under the hood? It all comes down to two core APIs that work together like a real-time shield for your business. Let's get into how they operate. Okay, let's start with your first line of defense, the Screen User API. This is the real-time engine, the one that's analyzing user actions, things like logins or profile updates, the very moment they occur. And this really shows the flow perfectly. A user clicks something, your system instantly sends that data to the API, it gets analyzed for any risky traits, and boom, a score comes back in milliseconds. And based on that score, you can automate a decision right then and there. Maybe you let them in, maybe you ask for extra verification, or maybe you just block it completely. Now, accuracy is absolutely everything here, and the system gets exponentially more powerful with every little piece of information you can give it. We're talking IP address, device data, email, name. All of it helps paint a clearer picture and leads to a much more precise risk score. The more it knows, the better it can protect you. All right, let's bring in the second API and see how these two create a complete defense. If you think of the Screen User API as your real-time guard at the front gate, then the Feedback User API is like the intelligence agent that helps it learn. After you've maybe manually reviewed a transaction, you can report the final status back. And that feedback loop constantly refines the algorithm, making the whole system smarter and smarter over time. Okay, so now that we've got the core tech down, let's talk about how you can customize this system and really tailor it to make it even more rock solid for your specific business. You can seriously boost your detection accuracy with a cool feature called device fingerprinting. By adding a simple script, the system can analyze all these unique characteristics of a user's device, their browser, their operating system, even their screen resolution, to create a unique digital fingerprint. This makes it so much harder for attackers to hide, even if they're constantly changing their IP address. So where should all this protection be running? Well, you want to focus on the critical checkpoints in a customer's journey. For sure, you'll want it on your login page, during the checkout process, and anytime a user tries to update their profile or billing info. Why? Because those are the absolute prime targets for an account takeover. This is a question every single merchant needs to ask themselves, because honestly, the answer is not one size fits all. Finding that perfect balance between super tight security and a smooth, easy customer experience, well, that's different for every business. And here's the really important part. You are in complete control. Inside the merchant area, you can set your own risk threshold. You get to decide the level of risk you're comfortable with, and you can adjust that dial anytime you want as your business grows and changes. So you've detected a threat. That risk score is sky high. What happens next? Well, this is where automation becomes your absolute best friend, turning that detection into immediate, decisive action.
Right, so when a user's score shoots past that threshold you set, you don't have to wait around to find out by digging through a bunch of logs. Nope, the system is designed to alert you instantly.
And these alerts can be sent directly to the channels your team is already using every single day. Whether that's a simple email, a ping in your team's Slack channel, or even a webhook that can plug into other tools like Zapier to create even more powerful workflows. And this is where the real power kicks in. You can connect these alerts directly to automated actions. So a high-risk score could automatically lock a user's account until someone can review it, or flag them in your database, or trigger any number of custom security processes you can dream up. It creates this seamless, immediate response system. So let's tie all of this together and really look at the big picture of why this matters so much for literally every online business out there. Ultimately, putting a system like this in place is about protecting the 3 pillars of your business: safeguarding your user accounts from getting hijacked, protecting your revenue from being stolen, and, most importantly, maintaining your customers' hard-earned trust. It lets you stay one step ahead of threats that are just constantly changing. And I'll just leave you with one final thought to chew on. Your customers, they place their trust in you every single time they log in or make a purchase. So the real question is your business truly as secure as they believe it to be?